describe it to people, I describe it as platformless gaming. Sort of accepting the idea that gaming and play can happen anywhere, in any context, with any device. And that once you sort of embrace that idea, it adjusts the way you see playfulness as your social role. So gaming that doesn't have any, like, this is the acceptable place to have gaming and this is an unacceptable place to have it.
I actually tend to focus on the story and talk about how it's a story that's broken up into pieces that you can find anywhere, and that it's your story. Even if you're not the person that put it out there, it's the story that you are discovering and that you are a part of and you are building. So that's where the focus that I tend to take with it.
That's actually the focus that I take too. I mean, it's a collaborative storytelling process. The players in the gaming community, I mean, they're putting the story together for the puppet masters, putting it back together. Puppet masters know what was there in the first place, but what comes together from the players is colored by their experiences and their knowledge, and it becomes a different thing at that point than what was visualized at the start when the developers started putting the pieces out there. And I describe it as platformless, or anything can be your platform, anything and nothing. And then I start talking about examples at that point, because it doesn't make any sense to anybody.
Yeah. I mean, so you always say it plays out in the real world, uses everyday technologies rather than gaming-specific technologies. I focus on massively scaled collaboration. The puzzles and missions you design that you can't possibly solve alone as a staple of the genre. And I also emphasize a lot the role of the real-time game designer. I talk about how this is the first genre of digital gaming that has real-time design, and that responsiveness and what Sean Stewart calls the jazz of doing an alternate reality game is really important. And Brian, when you're talking about sustainability, and Adrian, when you're talking about in terms of replayability, I think one of the great challenges and opportunities in alternate reality gaming is to figure out how to keep the jazz in replayable and sustainable. I mean, obviously that's a challenge people know about, but I actually think given the number of amazing grassroots moderators and the community's ability to reform itself around problems, that it is a solvable problem, and to lose that sense that the game is different every time it's played, depending on the community, would be to lose a real heart of the genre, otherwise it just becomes interactive media.
So over the 2 or 3 years I've been in Mindcamp, I used to have this sort of decision tree about how to explain ARGs. So you start from the top. Is this person over 40 years old? Well, if he is, talk about Masquerade, which is a treasure hunt book in the UK. If he's under 40, talk about The Game, by Michael Douglas. Has the person watched the game? Yes or no? Well, yes, well, it's a bit like the game, but about shooting. No? Well, I don't know. And so sort of had to go through all these different things. But now, the main way I do it is actually talking about the fact that ARGs don't really have controls. And it sort of touches on it's basically what Jane said about real life. The sense that you're using these interfaces that we already know how to use. And when I talk to game designers about it, video game designers, it's normally, well, playing Guitar Hero is a lot of fun, playing Sing Star is a lot of fun. That's because, well, there are a lot of reasons for that, but one of the reasons why people enjoy it and a lot of people play it is because you already know how to sing, you already know how you're supposed to play guitar. You don't have to be taught how to do that. It just, whereas if you look at a PlayStation 2 controller, there are 15 buttons and 2 joysticks. And even I have problems, working out how to play, latest Tekken or something like that. Whereas with ARGs, everyone knows how to use Google, pretty much. Everyone knows how to use, how to send an email, and that's the interesting thing that I normally concentrate on.
That's a great point. It's actually the International Game Developers Association, their accessibility group, is quite interested in alternate reality games just for the fact that they are so accessible. The gameplay devices already have things like TTY for telephones and all those different aspects. But to your question, the way that I define things, I've been presenting on this for a while just recently, and way I try to sum it up lately is that I talk about that the characters believe that they're real. And that's the way that I describe it, is not through the user experience, but through the creative experiences that the characters in the story do not let go of the notion that they exist. And from there, all the other things are sort of emergent.
From being the sleeping princess and I love bees.
And you have to stop talking about me because I'm here.
Yeah. It's like the elephant in the room.
But gosh darn, those mints are delicious.
I never would have thought.
Kristen, how do you think the panel went for you this morning?
I thought it went well, actually. The SF0 guys were pretty awesome, and I kind of want to know if they're going to do something in LA, because I would like to do some of those things. I was like, I don't know, throw I think I'd be really
And how do we distract them?
If you're listening from home, this is when you wish you were here.
Because really, you see.
Can I throw donuts on the Griffith Observatory or something? Is that a good task? I don't know. See how far I can get up the mountain.